Okay, everybody, so here we're now getting on towards the penultimate machine, which is the 5-axis manual duplicating machine that I've built myself and I've run for these, well, for a number of years, making myself a living from producing hand-carved duplicate gun stocks. So yeah, I've now come to end of a road. I'm 70 years of age on the Friday, the 14th of April, so I've really got to a point where I do want to, get rid of it all, well, sell it all on, and then go away and be retired like my little dog is Ted. He's grown old and grey, so he doesn't come here so often. He comes up when it's nice and warm during summer. I've still got a gate across the front of the building. So when it's nice hot weather, he pops up and goes and spends a few hours with me. Then I've got to walk him around the estate so he can have a sniff around and see if anybody else is there besides himself. Anyhow, so he's retired and I'd like to join him, and I'd like to be able to get up in the morning and me and Ted go out for a walk and do various things round and about roundabout where I live. And then I have a great passion for flying drones, so I want to be able to go and do some aerial photography with that, and produce some prints so that people can purchase them off me, hopefully purchase them off me, thinking that the things I've taken photographs are really good and they want to buy them. I have a great love of the east coast of Yorkshire, especially Whitby and Staithes and down to Scarborough and Bridlington, even Hull, are quite fascinating towns and cities. So yeah, I hope to be doing quite a bit of photography in those areas with a drone, and with my Osmo 2 pocket, and probably something similar to a GoPro on the front of my chest so I can walk up and down and talk to people, which is when you spend a lot of hours here, it's a lonely place to work on your own every day, sometimes 7 days a week, up to 12 hours a day, depending on what orders I've got to get through. So yeah, but don't get me wrong, I've enjoyed it, but it's a very solitude job to do. So let's talk about the machine. Well, the machine I built is 5 axis, as I've just said. In with it, what you'll get with it is there are inflatable sanding drums. There's a pillar drill that's got a collet chuck in it, which was glued in, so you can put the inflatable sanding drums on it and sand away. Those drums do remove wood, so sand. So you're very, very quick at moving stuff. And you'll see in the previous video, about just how quickly I can take a stock down, so I can get it to within around 120 grit, and then take the rest on by hand, going over it and making sure there's no marks in it and things like that. But that's all for yourself. That's for whoever purchases the machines, for them to discover. So what do you get for your money? Well, you get the 5-axis duplicate machine. You get over 70 templates, or 80 templates, I think there is them on the wall. You get the random orbital sanders. I've got a straight drill sander. You get all the inflatable sanding drums, plus some sandpaper. You get all the sanding drums which fit sleeves which fit on the inflatable drums. There's a couple of layers in there for lining stuff up on on the duplicating machine. There's all the cutters and all the paraphernalia. Some of them I've had it, some of them are absolutely brilliant and still work forever and ever a day. There are some new cutters in there. There's alignment tools in there and all the rest of it. It depends on how far you want to go with it. I made it myself, a dust extractor unit, a paint bull with an extractor on the back of it, which you'd have to set up yourselves. In the office part, there's a 12-ton press there. It's a bottle jack press, so there's 6 hydraulic bottle jacks in there working and compressing. If you were going to use panel products, I used to cut. When I first started it, I just used a saw and a straight edge, but it's quite a long process doing that. So then I bought myself a panel saw, which folds up, so it can be stored with a saw in it, and you can cut 8x4 sheets down. It's no big issue, and you just clamp stuff on, so you get the measurements. There is a set of measuring tapes on it if you wanted to buy, you know, they can go with the machine. So if you wanted something like that. Then there are panel clamps which are on the auction now. The wall-mounted ones, those are absolutely brilliant. You know, I were a bit sceptical about them at first, and when I started using them, I thought, yeah, so I ended up with 2 sets. So there's 2 sets with 3 in a set. They're absolutely brilliant things to use. What else is there? Well, there's a gun cleaning machine. If you wanted the spray guns, there are spray guns, you can purchase that. And also, there's a website which has had 105,000 hits on it. People go on there looking for stuff on my website, so it's become quite popular. And it's all, I mean, obviously I've done it through Facebook and all the rest of it. There is Facebook set up on there. But I have customers, before we left on the Brexit job, which has been the bane of my backside, is that because I'm not going to get into politics. 50% of my business used to go over to Europe. No problem, I could just pack them in a box and send them. Nowadays, you've never seen such a rigmarole like it, although I still do send them. We've managed to get it a lot better over these last couple of years. Then I have customers in America who are they're into bench rest shooting in America, and 2 or 3 of the templates that I have are for the Anschuts Match 54, which is the latest big thing that's available. So if you can really push yourself with a website across in America off of Facebook and whatever your Claptrap or whatever you go on, you could do really well out of it. You get. I would say if you've anything about you, you will get your money back in 12 months and show a profit at the end of 12 months or whatever, on the initial investment. So it's how hard you want to work and how much money you've got to, ability to put into the job. I mean, I think that if somebody came along and wanted to buy the whole workshop, lock, stock and barrel and everything else, the CNC machines and all that, I think I could come to some arrangement with the auctioneers and sell the whole thing as a job lot. But if you don't want to do that, I don't have the place. You need about 12 to 1,500 square foot to put houses of equipment in with 3 phases in it to get to crack on and do that. Fortunately, the thing is about the 5-axis duplicator is, the manual duplicator is, it's 240 volts, and then it converts it to 415 AC. Not AC, DC current to the thing, so it's low. It's just DC current that's running, which powers the spindle motors up. But they will run up to 24,000 revs a minute. Don't be underestimated. But I tend, through experience, I don't need to run that fast. I probably run at about 16 to 18,000 revs a minute, carving. And the motors, I just let the motors warm up, set them running, run it at a low speed, let the motors warm up, let the motor warm up in the morning, so the grease starts to work around, and then just leave it running for about 10 minutes, and then turn the speed up, and away you go, and off you go, and away you go. So by the time you've switched it on in the morning, started it running, got them ready, sent a cup of coffee, come back to the machine, and you're able to turn the speed up, step it up and away you go, and that thing will run all day long for you, so yeah, it is a piece of kit to work on. What else can I say? Well, as I said, I'm 70 on Friday, so yeah, I had a great deal of passion as flying drones, and so I really am interested in, when I leave this place, is going and taking photographs, the areas of Yorkshire in its entirety, because it's such a diverse and beautiful county. There is nothing like it. That's why they call it God's only county. It's such a beautiful place to live in. We have the old mill towns and all the rest of it, but there is vast amounts of countryside out there that you can get yourself lost in, and some beautiful places to go and see. The Yorkshire, you've got the Pennines, then you've got the Yorkshire Dales, and then you've got the North Yorkshire moors, and all around there, Pickering, Pickering, a wonderful place, to just go and visit. So what I intend to do is make some videos of these places, so that Joe public can actually see how beautiful and diverse county is that I live in, and perhaps want to visit and go and have a look around. So, you know, Whitby is a place of something to do with Dracula, the old vampire that came ashore on a shipwreck, so there's a bit of a tale to all that lot, so I'll try and discover more of it and put it onto video footage and put it onto YouTube so people can go and watch. The other thing is that, I'd like to make some videos of how I grew up as a young man. Instead of writing books and all that paraphernalia, I could take you around and show you, you know, where I grew up and the things I grew up to as a young man, or as a child and a young man. And then, you know, just in general show you things. I did have a period when I first left school, I went into the fishing industry. I worked out in Grimsby. So, you know, I know quite a lot about that area, and also, you know, I went the year after I lost all them trawlers at Iceland. So I went the year after, and I stuck it out. I think I did about 4 years, and then I came out of that, and because of the situation with with them laying ships up and scrapping them, I got a chance to retrain. So I retrained as a plasterer. Did that for a long number of years, because it's in my background. I ran a small furniture making industry, making pine furniture. But unfortunately, how that kicked off, that started as a hobby, wood turning. I bought a lathe and started as a hobby, wood turning in the cellar. And then that grew out of all proportion. So I ended up making pine furniture and stuff like that. But unfortunately, the Chinese came on board with the cheap oak furniture and the bottom fell out of the market overnight. So that was it all went downhill. So I got out of that. I ventured off over to Germany. I spent 3 years over there working for Fritz and Arben. Came back, went into the drywalling. Well, I've always been involved with drywall finishing and stuff like that. I got myself involved with that for quite a few years. And in 2008, when the bottom fell out of the market, there were firms going bust all over. And I bought some spray machines, heavy duty industrial spray plant, which are on the website now. And I got a job, obviously you'll see the big paint tank attached to the machine. I got a job then, I did 65,000 square metres of spray, it's a type of paint, you would think a thing called Tough Coat, which were on a cross-hatch system. So yeah, I made quite a bit of money and came back from there and bought a load of equipment, because I knew even when I was working down there, I was talking to people who were down there, and they were saying to me that, you know, when people in London say to you there is no work about, you can guarantee there's bugger all up and down the country. So I came back and it was in a terrible state. You know, the banking boys had done it to us again, and Cameron and Osborne and David Cameron were at taken over, the Liberals at that time as well had taken over, and yeah, I have a great deal to say for them sort of people, but I'll keep politics out of it. So then it started, working from home, in sheds, starting all over again with a new career, carving rifle stocks. And, you know, I persevered and persevered, spent lots of hours inside that shop working and carving stocks till I become proficient at it. And because I was involved in the shooting for a hobby, you know, I knew what I was talking about and where I was going with it. And it just gradually went on from there. It got bigger and bigger. As I say, I started in 3 sheds. And then I ended up taking an industrial unit where me and our Ted did the first video from. And then I moved down to this one, which is just a bit further down the road. And COVID hit us, and I think it was a big mistake. But never mind, you know, it's just you live and learn. And I thought by now I would have had these CNC machines up and running and producing stocks by the dozen. I mean, I'd estimated that the 4-head rotary machine and the one on the flatbed, so it's 5 heads working at once, on an average of 2 hours of stock. So you can see, you know, you get 8 hours working. It's a lot of, it's 20 stocks a day, you know, 5 days a week. 2 5s is 10, that's 100 stocks a week that you're capable of getting off of these machines. And the beauty about it is, while these machines are carving things, you can be finishing them, sanding them off and getting them ready. So what I was going to do is to produce all these stocks, get them sanded at the same time. And because I'm producing that quick, then I can afford to get the prices down, so that obviously we're in this pickle that we're in now, coming out of COVID, and then they've got old Charlie Fred in Russia there being a bloody nuisance. I do them at realistic prices, but I mean the price of energy has just been, I think the British public in general have just been shafted by a bunch of unscrupulous Tory politicians. But enough said about that, I won't go any deeper into that. So yeah, what else am I thinking about doing? Well, I did have a period where, as I said, I started off with wood turning down, the selling it grew out of all proportion, so I still have the ability to do a bit of wood turning, so I'll probably produce and start making pens and bits and bats of stuff for people for Christmas. Just in general, keeping myself busy, which is what I like to be. So yeah, there'll be fountain pens available from Handcrafted Pens by Stephen Parker. So remember that. The surname's Parker. Enough said. So without any further ado, I've babbled on now. I think I've said enough, and I think I'm getting fed up hearing myself talking away. So what I'll do is I'll pop off now, and I'll take you around the workshop and show you what you're going to get on the manual duplicated side of things, and hope that somebody comes along and wishes to purchase that side of it off of me, or maybe carry a bag of money and wants to buy the whole shooting match, take it somewhere else and set it all up again and crack on. Not a problem. Bye. So there, on the top shelf there are boxes for the sanding sleeves, which come with part of the machine. Then coming down then, and across this way, these here, the sanding sleeves and the random orbital sanders and all the rest of it. And a little bit higher up there's some sanding stuff there that will go with it. I'll sort it all out. And then up again there's some discs there as well. So right, now moving across, and here you have it. There you are, there's 30 odd stock blanks there, made from various types of materials. There's some actually very pretty figured ash among all this lot. There's some walnut and maple laminations, there's sapele, there's probably some beech stuff there, figured ash. So yeah, quite a good selection of blanks, but they're mainly all bench rest stock blanks. So coming across again, I'll just get this right for you. So here we have old Betsy, the old 5-axis duplicating machine. Beautiful machine to work on, I can assure you. It's quite an incredible thing. 5-axis machine, and I said there again, just give you a quick glimpse of that. You can see that there is a controller for it, and then we're just going to go up again a little bit. As you can see there, the wall of stock templates. Now there's quite a lot of money there in time, not only in time and in materials in producing a lot of the stocks, but some of the stocks are bought in and have used for many years, so there's quite a lot of money hung up there. As you can see further over, there's the old spray gun clean. If you wanted to purchase that, you'd have to buy that as a separate entity from the auctioneer website. So right, we're going to go pop down a bit now. Incidentally, this is a tray that is actually full of cutters. Let's see if I can zoom in a bit. Yeah, there you go. A lot of cutters there, different types of things. So that was all part and parcel of the machine that you get. And then again, I'm going to move over this way a little bit. This is a tool chest that you get with it. And yet again, as I say, you've got all the different cutters. There's 2 lasers in there. There's a couple of points there that you use for setting the machine up. If the drawers lower down, there's setting jigs so that once you pull this machine down, you put it back together. There's a way of setting it all up so everything's parallel all the way down from one end of the bed to the other. Right, I'm just going to go off now. So here we have, there's the spray bill that I built, and on the side of it is the spray guns if you wanted the spray guns. There is some good ones, the Vilbis and the other 2 I got. The other are cheap and cheerful, but they will do the job. So yeah, that's that. So there you have, there's a press there that's 12 ton, the hydraulic bottle jacks. Going across then this way to the right, there's a CNC milling machine. Sorry, a milling machine there with a DRO on it. So yeah, it's you know, a nice piece of kit. It's not had a lot of use. It's not been abused. So there you are. There's a DRO on it, all working. So that's as much as I can tell you.